Hi everyone, welcome to American Firearms Network. It's Todd and Paul here, and today we are going to talk about drawing from your holster and how important it is, and how you go to the range and you practice once or twice a month or once every few months, whatever it is, and you don't train practicing drawing from your holster, which is so important, and people underestimate this skill.
Yeah, they do.
Agree,
they
right?
do. They do, Todd. Drawing from holster is very important. We're in a concealed carry state, and you have to have a holster if you're going to, walk around with your gun. So it's important that you do your training. I always advise my students, the first line of training when you want to draw from holster is to do it in dry fire. Please do not try for the first time drawing from your holster with a live ammo in your gun. Always start with dry fire. Make sure you take your time, make sure you do the fundamentals and the safety requirements when you are going to draw from holster.
You're absolutely right. Now recently we're open carry.
Yes.
So for those of you who want to open carry, Paul and I don't agree with that. We always are concealed. We're not a fan of open carry, but I know some people are. If you think that you can just go to the range, as I said, and just have your holster, and in a crisis situation,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to draw your gun properly from your holster. There's so many things that can go wrong. I've seen guns, on videos and stuff, and stories throughout training, and talking to police and everything else. Guns, they're drawing, they bobble over, they fall on the floor. Accidental discharges happen. The holster's coming out with the gun because you don't have the proper holster. I mean, the list goes on and on. You have to dry fire from home. Yeah. This is something that you should not be doing with a live gun in your home or anything. It should be dry firing, no ammunition, and it should be practiced a lot. Okay, you have a holster, you walk around with the gun, practice at home.
Right.
All right? You should really practice under a timer. Okay, and whatever your time is drawing, you write down that time, and you work on getting faster and faster and more proficient with that, because so many things can go wrong. And like I said, when you're in a real stressful situation, someone's rolling up on you on a Walmart parking lot, they catch you. It's always, most of the time, the element of surprise. They're always trying to surprise attack you. You think you're going to pull your holster out without practicing, and you never really do it before? You never practiced really with it before? That gun's not coming out.
No.
Okay, you're going to have a problem.
It's important, guys, that you find an instructor that's well versed in being able to draw from concealment. Unfortunately, there's a lot of ranges that don't want you to draw from the holster. They don't want you to draw from concealment. And I can understand that with the legal stuff that's going on. But it's important that when you're drawing from holster, you make sure you have the proper clothing that you wear on an everyday basis. For instance, if I'm going to go to church for the weekend, I'll practice drawing with my suit on. If you're going jogging, practice, drawing. You've got a t-shirt, being able to lift that garment up and pull that weapon and deploy that weapon. All these things you have to be able to do. You have to find a place where you can be able to draw, deploy the weapon, and get shots on target. But remember, the dry fire is the most important thing. Make sure you keep your finger off the trigger, okay? You pull your firearm out, you deploy your firearm, okay? When you're about to take the shot, the finger goes into the trigger guard, and that's it. When you are getting ready to put the gun back into the holster, everything has to be done nice and slowly. Do not be in a hurry to put your gun back in the holster very quickly, making sure that you keep your finger on the slide. You do not ride the trigger. And riding the trigger means that when you keep your finger in where the trigger guard is, you don't take your finger out, you just push it down in the holster, right, with the gun, and you ride that trigger, and what happens when you ride the trigger, Todd? The gun can go off. And we've seen it on ranges. People have had problems. So please, please, please make sure that when you are doing this, you do it in a safe environment.
Most accidental discharges, I don't know if you guys are aware out there, most accidental discharges come from reholstering your gun, okay? You have to be so careful, as Paul said. All right, practice. You can draw fast. That's the main thing, to draw fast. You want to practice drawing fast and efficiently. You don't have to practice, you don't have to be that efficient and that quick reholstering your gun.
No.
You bend your knees, you tilt your body back, and you stare and you look at that holster while you're putting the gun back in your holster. Very important. If you don't like to dry fire, all right? Whatever you want to do, that's up to you. But I'm telling you, if you don't do anything else with dry fire but practice drawing from your holster, it is critical and extremely, extremely important.
You know, Tom, I got a couple of friends in Jacksonville, and I was telling you before, I don't know if you remember, that they carry their guns in different areas of their body. I got a friend that he carries his gun from behind.
Yeah,
okay?
Right. Yeah,
and you see him, you wouldn't believe he was carrying.
Yeah.
But on the range, he's able to draw that firearm and deploy his weapon really quick. Okay? I have another buddy.
That's very hard.
Very hard.
From the back.
I've seen him do it, and I got another buddy. He carries on his ankle. He has a second
That's
gun
really tough.
on his ankle,
That's tough.
and he's able to get down very quickly, draw his weapon, and deploy his weapon very quickly.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yep.
Why say that? You can carry anywhere you want to carry, but you've got to train. Train the way you live.
If you practice, you will get better and better and better, and you'll be more and more confident. And when you're in a life and death situation, all right, you're still going to mess up. All right, imagine with no training at all, what's going to happen. So,
but guys, enough of us. Get out there, get off the couch, go down to the range and train, but most of all, be safe. Take care, and we'll see you next week.